on the D1 Media Sports page. That graphic is wrong. I thought we had it finished, but anyway, Irvington comes into today 3-9-1. Seton Hall Prep 10-2-1 for the first round of the Essex County Tournament. My name is Jackson Shank. I am joined alongside Justin Valenzuela for today's coverage here in West Orange. Justin, we've got a David versus Goliath matchup. Seton Hall Prep coming in ranked number 2 in this tournament, and they are taking on Irvington, who just squeaked their way in during the play-ins.
Yeah, Jackson, when you have a great regular season, that's the benefit you have in the first round. You take on a lesser opponent. Seton Hall comes in at 5-2 in the conference. Irvington, the opposite side of that coin, 2-5. However, their last time out, Irvington saw themselves victor against Newark Central, 1-0. They look to captivate on that, get a little bit of a winning streak here. And on the opposite side of that, after falling to Newark Eastside 2-1, Seton Hall has won 2 games in a row against Montclair Kimberly and Life Center. They look to make that 3 in a row today.
Yeah, they have been so good at home. They are 7-1 on the season. They look to continue that today as we'll get ready for the first round of the Essex County Tournament. We'll be right back here on D1 Media Pro page. Stay tuned. Welcome back to D1 Media Pro, as we are just about set for kickoff. Officials making sure they explain clear rules to both teams, and we can get started. Justin, you mentioned Irvington in the play-ins. They managed to find their way into the tournament against Newark Central, and Seton Hall coming off the bye in the tournament, but I mean, not much of a bye. They played on Monday, so both teams fairly active, or fairly warm since their last bits of competition, and now we will see the coin toss for possession. And yeah, no, it should be exciting. I think a big storyline for today is definitely seeing number 9 out there for Seton Hall Prep.
Yeah, it was definitely a much needed bye. You know, Krupski was a little banged up. We saw him play injured, and Eastside could not finish that game in that eventual loss. He logged 20 minutes in the previous game. Looks to be fully ready now. That bye definitely helped get him some much needed rest. Barely played on Monday, not like they needed him anyways. They took care of business. And, you know, juniors Jeremy Munoz and Leong have really stepped up, both registering a goal in the last 2 games to, you know, kind of carry that weight that Krupski has left. As, you know, they won both of those games. They really needed those guys to step up when they needed them. They proved so.
Yeah, it should be exciting. I mean, we've watched Munoz really facilitate this offense, and then Leong has kind of been that wing piece that Seton Hall Prep has needed. The ability with his athleticism to stretch the field is something that's unmatched in this conference. And for a guy of his size at 5'5", 135 pounds, he reminds me a lot of actually a senior over at Seton Hall University, Andrea Borg, who scored in last night's game against Princeton on a basically a ball where he just played it himself. It was a solo play, and Leong reminds me a lot of him because his speed, his quickness, his athleticism, it allows him to push by defenders and then create offensive opportunities.
Yeah, those, you know, the more undersized players, they're really quick and twitchy, and you just don't know where they're going to go next. They're able to just sneak right by you. And Ong has shown that all season, just his ability to get around defenders and make a play, especially at midfield. You know, it seems like every time he touches that ball, there's just something exciting is waiting to happen, whether it's a quick movement or a nice pass. He's just been very electric all year.
Something exciting that Seton Hall Prep's been waiting for is to play in the Essex County tournament. They've been waiting. They've waited through their bye, and now they've waited an extra half an hour, as this game was supposed to get started at 4 o'clock. But Justin, the last 2 times you and I have been here to cover these games, Seton Hall Prep's opponents have been at least 20 minutes late.
Yeah, that traffic is no joke. We were, fortunate enough that they were late because we ourselves were running a little behind schedule. Simply, it's just getting packed up behind those lights, man. And you're sitting at a light, finally turns green, about 3 cars get to go, and then it turns red again. And you're just slowly etching forward, but you're never making real progress. I'm assuming that big old bus got stuck behind that similar thing as we are underground.
We are off the Essex County tournament as first touch awarded to the Blue Knights, but Seton Hall Prep quickly on defense as Leong sends that one out of touch. Throw in awarded for the Blue Knights.
Seton Hall, like you said, definitely waiting for this tournament to start, as they were the champions of the tournament last season, defeating West Orange by a score of 2-0. So they look to repeat that again this year. Getting a first round bye, having a strong season so far. A lot of juniors stepping up. It's a very promising team. They look to repeat.
There's a ball in the middle for Munoz. He plays it to the corner. Sullivan with a nice ball to Leong. Header in the box. It's backed away. Mills running out of room. Defenders in his face. Looks like a foul on the Blue Knights. Hefty contact just outside the 18 by O'Nate. Now quickly, here goes Munoz to Wiley. And Leong sends the ball across, but nobody home for the Pirates.
Seton with a couple early chances. You know, third in the state in goals, and they look to increase that number by a lot today, especially with this aggressiveness that they're playing so far offensively.
Just 4 away from the 50 mark on the season. Their first corner. Here's a set piece play with Mills. That's off the head of a Blue Knight and over the end line. So Seton Hall Prep is going to flip corners and try this again.
Jackson, we talk about goals. Irvington has 11 goals as a team on the season, and just for reference, Rutgers commit Eddie Krupski has 18 on the season. So, offense, hard to come by for Irvington, and offense comes plenty for Seton Hall.
Here's a ball in, looking for Sullivan to Krupski off the head. Oh! What a save by the Blue Knights.
The flag was up. Would have been offsides regardless.
Looks like Javier Romero in goal for the Blue Knights. An impeccable save off of that set piece. As a breakaway for Alex Guerre goes awry. Excuse me, that's Axel Guerre.
Ray Bonanno in goal for Prep. He had one save last time out. Not very challenged. All throughout that game, Seton Hall won pretty comfortably as they erupted for 3 goals in an 11-minute span in the second half.
Yeah, Bonanno a part of that 7th clean sheet that Seton Hall Prep has gotten this season. Here's a ball played ahead to Sullivan. Great defensive effort by the Blue Knights. Pirates are in a throw-in. Looks like the head official is going to overrule in favor of Irvington. Here's Williams to Sullivan and back out to Bauer. Prep continuing to control position, but Irvington has a chance to advance forward on the defensive end. Leong plays the ball into the center. Munoz, the facilitator of this offense, plays the ball to Mendez. Mendez, tries to go top shelf. A beautiful punch out. Here's a chance for Leong, and he scores! Goal number 3 for Wiley. And the Pirates are on the board in the first 5.
Leong stays hot, his 2nd straight game with a goal, and assisted by none other than Benjamin Mills, his 11th assist on the season. He really is the nucleus on that wing out there. Leads the team in assists. He just has a great job of finding his teammates in scoring opportunities. Leong buries that.
Yeah, he scored just last week against Montclair Kimberly, and we talked about how great his play has been, and you and I talked about his wing play as well, but that time, he was just in the right place at the right time, got a foot on it, and with beautiful placement in the bottom left corner, puts the Pirates up 1-0.
Seton Hall with a menacing pace to start. I mean, it was pretty obvious that a goal was imminent very soon. They had 2 very quality shots, followed it up with a 3rd, punched out by the keeper, and then Mills with a great job at finding Leong. Obviously it's all going to be about Krupski. Rutgers commit 18 goals, but this Seton Hall team is deep, and they're deep with youth. They have multiple underclassmen and juniors that have multiple goals on the season. We got Areza with 2, Askovich with 3, a junior. Lipinski is a senior with 3. He had a goal last game. Levy's another junior. Leong, 2. Lucas Mendez, probably the best junior out there. He's got 7 goals and 8 assists. Very well-rounded player for them this year. Him and Leong have taken great steps this year. Same with Mills. Just doing a great job. And obviously you've got Jeremy Munoz with a couple goals and assists there as well. Such a good young core for Seton Hall. You can't wait to see what they're capable of in the future.
Yeah, junior class bolstered really strong. have a chance to be just as good as they were this season next year. Here's a ball in. Second chance for Roan Sullivan, who gets on the board. Seton Hall Prep scores within 60 seconds of one another, and it's 2-0.
That's Sullivan's first goal on the year. Good for him, the senior, finally finding the back of the net. Right place, right time. Yet another great corner from Mills. It's just such a good passer. He's just so good at getting the ball to where it needs to be. This has potential to get ugly pretty early here, Jackson. What do you think?
I think it does. I mean, we saw this coming into today about the differences between these two teams offensively, and it's showing. I mean, there's a reason why Seton Hall Prep was given the number 2 seed in this tournament. They are a force to be reckoned with.
Yep, just like last year, looking to repeat. You know, one thing I really give credit to Seton Hall Prep for, they showed a lot of resilience this year, especially following a loss. You know, they tied with Del Barton, and they strung together a nice win, obviously fell to Montclair. Once they lost to Montclair, they strung together a 7-8 game win streak and fell victim to Eastside at home, and now they've just come out screaming these last 3 games. Scored at least 2 goals in the last 3 games, and they look to add to that number today. You got to credit that to Coach Berman in his 38th year. This season just had his 800th win, and he's got his boys tuned up for this tournament.
Yes, he does. Here's a chance for Irvington, way out. But takes a shot nonetheless. Irvington hasn't had too many good opportunities so far, and being down 2-0, I don't think you can discredit them for taking the opportunities when they get them.
Yeah, if you get an open shot at the goal, you just got to take it, especially on Bonanno. I mean, no offense to him, he's not the tallest keeper. Great athletically, he's done a great job this season, but I think when you look at him as an overall weakness, it would be at the top post there, just simply because he's not the tallest keeper. If you get a good strike top bar or in the corners, it will be very challenging for him to get there. So not the worst idea. Just got to take a little bit off it next time.
There's a through ball played ahead, cleared away by Longstreet, the senior defender. He does a nice job locking down any Irvington offense from Zammy. Seton Hall awarded the throw-in.
Take the next one away.
Prep keeping it away from the Blue Knights on the back line. I think this is a chance for them to really, work on their chemistry in this game, work on utilizing extra passes due to the difference, the difference in competitiveness between both teams.
If you're Irvington, you can't get too down. Only down 2-0, but also it's a very good team, and Irvington's young. They got a lot of juniors out there. Take the experiences and learn with it. It's good to be in a tournament like this. Squeaked by in. Had a great win last time you were out to get here. You got to take these experiences and learn with them.
Longstreet plays the ball ahead to Munoz. Defended well, but he breaks through defender. Looking for Mills. He's found him. Here's Mills on the edge of the 18. Right foot into the box for Krupski. Keeps it alive off his chest, now off his foot. The left leg is punched out.
Great save there. Rubelin's phenomenal year so far. His 58th save on the season. 68th save on the season, my apologies.
Here's a corner, punched out. Munoz now has a chance. Here's the left foot. Gets away towards the corner, saved by Mills. Gets away, here's Munoz at the edge of the 18. Fires a shot over the net.
A little too much. A little too much there from Munoz. He is looking for his 3rd goal on the season.
Yeah, sometimes You can get a little selfish as if you were the one always assisting, then it seems so tempting to take your own shots when you get them.
And credit to him, he's really done a good job at assisting his teammates this season. It's not often that you're going to have scoring opportunities in the position that he plays, but he makes sure to get all of his teammates involved as often as he can. I'd like to see with Seton Hall the amount of players with more than 5 assists. It shows great commodity as a team. It's good ball movement all around.
Speaking of ball movement, here's Lapchinsky on the far side, left foot into the box, is headed away. Has a second chance here, able to get it to Williams. Williams driving in now to Mills. Mills puts a shot on. Off the foot of a defender.
And right into Rubelins. Right there. He bailed on that shot. He went to the ground. Wasn't expecting that deflection. Could have ended very badly for him. Fortunate enough that that ball ended up right into his lap. Literally right into his lap. So Berna get a little pranked out there by Sullivan there. You got to feel good for Sullivan today too. And oh, that's not good.
There's a shot.
Krupski is down
over the goalpost.
He's pointing to his ankle. As I was saying, you got to feel good for Sullivan there, though. His first goal of the season as a senior. You just love to see it. You know, he's put in 4 years of work with this team. As we had mentioned, that Krupski's banged up. Does not look good there. Question why he might have been playing this game to begin with. You know, it's an important tournament. He's your best player. Obviously, you want to keep him in shape and everything. Question if you really needed him today. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious.
Didn't look like there was any contact. Just may have rolled the ankle.
I had eyes on him that time. He just rolled his ankle a little bit, so hopefully nothing too crazy. But that'll probably do it. Like we said, he registered 20 minutes last game out. Be at about 13 here, so wonder if that's it for him today.
Daniel Deshkevich is going to check on for him, the junior from Nutley, who scored the final goal against Life Center in the 71st minute, his third of the season. So, despite Krupski stepping off, you know, this team has depth, and they have the ability to fill in that role when needed.
That junior class by Berman has been really special this year. You can see it, a junior just checked in for Krupski. You know, they got multiple juniors with a lot of assists. You'd love to see it. What I really like from Seton Hall today is their through balls. You know, the Irvington defense is playing really wide, and if you look, they're just sending those balls through the gaps and having their guys run to space and get the ball to them. They're doing a great job of that so far. If you're Irvington, you got to tighten up to kind of avoid those situations there. When you widen up, you open your defense up a little bit there.
There's been plenty of opportunities for Seton Hall Prep so far today as Munoz registers another shot there.
Fortunately, they built up a 2-0 lead. So Krupski hopefully wouldn't have been needed much today, but that's still very, very unfortunate that he's down with yet another injury. You know, his senior year, he's going to want to put everything he has onto the field for his boys. Put in 4 years of work into this program. Already won an ESSEX County tournament under his belt. Obviously, you want to repeat in that.
Free kick now for the Pirates. About 27 yards out from the goal. It's going to be Mills. Mills with an assist already in this game. And the first goal, that's in the box. A shot. What a punch out. What a punch out by Rubelins. Rubelins, excuse me.
Yeah, flag was up once again. Would not have mattered, but pretty solid save there. You saw Mendez pass the header opportunity there, kind of psych out the goalie, but he stayed strong. Wonder if he knew he might have been offsides, but turnover.
Yeah, Deshkevich now looking for Lapchinsky, but defenders are there. Here's Mills, working around in the box, tripped over by defenders. The refs say play on. It's now Irvington trying to flip the field for the first time in nearly 10 minutes. Plenty of defenders there. Prep's got numbers.
Sullivan had some great closing speed there, just blazing towards the ball. Caught up to the guy so fast there. If you're Irvington, you got to do a better job of clearing the ball. You know, you've seen a couple mishaps where they went to kick the ball and just completely missed, or you know, they barely get the ball past 10 yards of clearance. And then when they establish an offensive possession, it's on the counterattack, and they're just giving the ball away super quickly. I think they're a little panicked. They're rushing just a little bit. They got to slow it down. Slow the ball down, slow the pace. You control the pace of the game rather than going at their pace trying to counterattack. You've got 25 minutes left in the first half. You don't need to, you know, come screaming back and get a goal right now. Kind of flip the script a little bit here, establish a possession.
As Leong tries to go quickly, a chance for Lapchinski. As he runs into the goalie. No call from the officials, but yeah, there were. Munoz had the opportunity for the set piece. Nobody was paying attention. He just hit it with his left foot and moved the ball forward. So Prep doing a great job taking advantage of sleeping defenders, and unfortunately they don't score that, but it looks like the clock is going to be stopped.
Yeah, you see head coach Bertonson for Irvington is very upset right now. Understandably so. His goalkeeper's down after a collision in front of the net. It's just something you never want to see. Fortunately, with soccer, these types of things happen when the ball gets in real close. I hope the senior goalkeeper's all right, though.
We'll be right back here on the D1 Media Pro page. Stay tuned for more action when we come back. Back in action here in West Orange. Looks like Rubbelins is going to stay in net. He's okay. We'll see how this affects him as the game continues on. But Jean and Sosa both check on for Irvington. It's the Blue Knights looking to make some substitutions halfway through this first half. Seton Hall Prep leading it 2-1. With goals from Wiley Ong and Roan Sullivan.
And Jackson, we see how important keeping your keeper healthy is. I mean, we saw it against Eastside when Orlena got hurt at the end of the first half there. And then Rui Roselle came in and inevitably got a red card. And then the injured goalkeeper had to check back in. Conceded a goal very early on, but you could tell he was shaken up as he was playing. Credit to him for really sticking that game out and not conceding anything else and helping him win. But it's really important that, you know, your guys stay healthy behind goal, because you never know. Like, I mean, walking into that game, did you expect the keeper to get a red card and be kicked out of that game?
No, I didn't. But one thing I think you can definitely count on with this Irvington team is that the fact that they have depth in goal. I mean, they have 3 goalies listed on their roster alone. So if one of them were to go down, there are others who have seen time and would be able to step up. Here's Munoz, who fires across for Mendez. That's just out of the reach. So Prep continuing on the attack. I mean, they really haven't slowed down all half, Justin.
Yeah, they've been menacingly attacking the goal there. Irvington, you got to get Lewis, their top goal scorer, going here. You know, he hasn't seen the ball much at all. I don't think the ball has touched number 10's foot at all this game.
It's tough to touch, you know, it's tough to give your leading scorer an opportunity when there haven't really been opportunities to capitalize on. So, yeah, if they want to, I think if Irvington wants to do anything, so far in this first half, mount an offensive attack, they've got to start pushing players forward without having to just park the bus on the back end, because every time they send attackers forward, it's one or two guys. Seton Hall Prep's got 4 back there, and the numbers just aren't going to work out.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of bringing their guys forward, moving the ball around, stop turning it over. Like even here, as you can see, they're doing a much better job here. They moved the ball to the left side of the field instead of just sprinting straight forward. Fortunately, they gave it right away. Gave it away right away there, but that's something you want to see moving forward. Everyone move forward together as a team and keep that ball hot. It touches your foot, bam, it's gone. You got to keep it moving, just like Seton Hall's been doing, keeping it moving, finding the guys open in space. It's not about just sprinting as hard as you can. It's about spreading that defense out and opening up opportunities for everyone else.
Here's an opportunity for Leong. He dumps it off to Deskevich as he has it taken away inside. Seton Hall Prep gathers at half. Lapchinsky keeps it alive. Dangerous closing defender. In Egbakar. And Deskevich checks off. Eddie Krupski back end for the Pirates.
Jackson, one thing with Irvington, their record does not indicate how well they've played this season. Tally 4 games that they lost by just 1 goal or tied. And then obviously their wins are their wins. But this opportunity for 4 more wins or ties there, that would be a huge swing. Obviously the losses have been pretty bad. Tally and some pretty...
As here's a laser shot from Jeremy Munoz outside the 18, a 20-yard strike as he puts the Pirates up 3-0.
Jackson, that was a missile right there. Munoz has a rocket on his foot. His 3rd goal of the season, and he stays hot too. That's his second game in a row with a goal. That one was probably the best of the day, I would say.
3 goals on the season now, and 2 in the past 3 days. Jeremy Munoz gets on the board. We saw how often that he's tried to shoot from that 20-yard mark just outside the 18 where he facilitates the offense from. And he finally gets a chance, leaves it level enough, and keeps it about hip height, and just fires a laser into the left side of the net.
No other way to put it. He simply beat the keeper there, froze him in place. And I mean, we saw him misfire before. Ball sailed on him a little bit. He comes right back to a similar area and just keeps his chest down and fires that ball into the back of the net. And almost the second Krupski checked back in, that offense clicked and scored yet another goal. He really is the engine that keeps this Seton Hall offense running.
I guess he's definitely a threat. If anything, he was more of a decoy in that goal. But yes, his presence is felt nonetheless.
Credit to coincidence or presence. It's just ironic that the second he stepped onto the field, they struck a goal right into the back of the net.
Munoz trying to keep it alive.
Don't dribble into the middle. That's where all their numbers are.
See Coach Berman wants Seton Hall to keep the ball wide here.
Trying to keep it on the perimeter. Here's Lapchinsky inside the 18. Leaves it out for Leong. Now back to Lapchinsky. Dangerous opportunity now for Krupski. Now a second chance for Mendez. Mendez scores.
Jackson, when it rains, it pours. Everybody's getting involved for the Seton Hall offense right now. Yet another junior. We've got 3 juniors now with the goal today. Can't say it enough. This junior class is phenomenal, Jackson.
Mendez makes it 8 on the season to match his assist count. He's 2nd in goals behind Krupski and tied for 3rd with 8 assists. That was beautiful. I mean, so much offense from Seton Hall Prep today. We're seeing it time and time again, because they have the ability to stretch the field, yes, and spread defenders out, but then they just flood the box so well, and it leaves players with opportunities after Rublins has dived for a saving shot. If it's popped back out, somebody's going to be there, and a lot more of that goal is opened up after the initial shot.
Can't say there's just so many threats offensively for Seton Hall. They have multiple guys with 2, 3 or more goals. Looking threatening there once again. Krupski just bullying his way in the box. Fortunately, flag goes up there. I wonder, is there a mercy rule in boys soccer here?
I do not believe so.
4 in the first half with 16 to go. I know Seton Hall has won no more than 8-0.
I mean, I have seen 13-1 scores, so if anything, this is just another day at the office for Seton Hall Prep.
They now have 50 goals on the year, Jackson. It's not a number to shy about. This is a lethal offense.
Yeah, came into today with 46. Mendez topping the 50 mark on the season. I think the top of the state has just under 60, so definitely something to watch out for as Deskevich is going to get more action. Lapchinski takes a seat. 15 minutes and 20 seconds left here in West Orange. Jackson Shank and Justin Valenzuela here for you. With my man Lars operating the camera, student of Seton Hall Prep and fellow information giver.
Yeah, I was going to say
when needed.
It's helped us out a lot.
Has been a great asset to D1 Media Pro in his short tenure.
He was explaining to me PowerPoints earlier because I had no idea what those were. Still a wild concept to me, but nonetheless, it's something that the conference uses, so gotta respect it.
Subs will come on for both sides. Matthew Masseri checks on. Roan Sullivan will tap in for him, and Daniel Ariza will tap to Hannah Mendez, who just scored. So Mendez has scored now, we failed to mention it, 6 straight games. That's incredible consistency for Mendez. You can almost count on it.
Yep.
If Seton Hall Prep were to advance and then play in the quarterfinals on Friday, you may see another game with another goal for Mendez.
Jackson, this team is going to be so exciting next year. All of these guys have room for even more growth. Guys like Mills, Munoz, Mendez, all of these guys having phenomenal seasons, and there's still season left to add to these tallies. You get another off season of growth and gaining strength and understanding Berman's system even more. I think I might have Seton Hall Prep as my favorite, up there with Eastside because they're a very young team too. But this team is going to show no signs of slowing down.
Speaking of, here's Leong. A ball inside is headed away. Nice defense from Yuppa. Prep still outside the 30. But
Gaskevich just did a great job. He knew he was offsides, so he took off the gas, let that ball pass to a guy flying in behind him. That's the kind of awareness that you like to see. Yet another junior showing such immense IQ. It's just so promising to see.
Getting a lot more playing time today after the goal on Monday. Here's Prep with the... No, Leong's going to back off. So it just looks like this will be a normal corner. They've been running some interesting set pieces where they dump it off to somebody and then they have them cross it into the box.
Yeah, I mean...
Not really sure why, but... No, I don't know. Switch up the look just a little bit.
At this point, you don't have much to lose. Experiment with some new stuff. See what works, see what you like. If you've been thinking about trying some, give it a good look here. Give some young guys some chances to play. Experiment a little bit. And if you're Irvington, have some fun too. You also have nothing to lose at this point. Play with your heart out. See what you can get going. Try some new moves, you know? Have some fun.
Getting that first-time experience here in this Essex County tournament as they match up with the juggernauted number 2 seed Seton Hall Prep.
Number 9 on the state still, Jackson. A model of consistency all year. That number has not changed. Now, one thing, you know, it's easy. You know, they've won games 8-0. They're up 4-0 here. Winners 3-0 and 2-0 their last times out. Prep is 0-2-1 against ranked opponents this season. So while they are winning the games that they are supposed to win, on the flip side of that, the games that are more of a 50-50, they've come out on the losing side in almost all of them.
Well, you know what they say, it's not about how you start the season, it's about how you finish it. And now that they've had a chance, they've seen those ranked teams, they understand what the competition is like. I think they can utilize those experiences to their advantage if they run into those ranked teams come later in this tournament.
Yeah, so you know, it's relatively young, all things considered. They have about half of their starting lineup as juniors. This is valuable experience for them. And it's not like they lost those games badly either. Montclair, they lost 3-2. Eastside, they lost 2-1. And the resilience in the second half, they tied against Barton 3-3. The resilience in their second half has been what you like to see. You know, you saw them in every game. They came out the gate stumbling, got themselves in a bit of a hole, especially in that second half against Eastside. But they battled back. They stayed playing hard. And they almost equalized at the end of all of those games. Seton Hall damn near did equalize against Eastside if it wasn't for a slew of questionable calls on the refereeing. That was a very shoddy game refereeing-wise the entire time. But, you know, no excuses at the end of the day. They lost that game, but I do think, like you were saying, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish for the season. Valuable experience that they will take as they advance in this tournament, most likely.
Speaking of questionable, Munoz was decked at about the 30-yard line, and the ref says play on, but no call there. Nonetheless, here's a ball deep into the box for Ariza. No handball called. It looked like it clearly touched the hand of a Blue Knight. Munoz lets it through. Now back to Munoz off the touch from Williams.
The refs, like you were saying, Munoz got decked. They're letting these guys play. They're letting them get physical. We saw that collision in front of goal. No call there. Munoz took a little thump there. Again, no call. Got to let these guys play. You got to.
Now goal kick for Irvington. Subs again for both teams.
Levy checking in.
Xavier Levy checks in for Seton Hall Prep, and Zamari Pearson to check in for the Blue Knights. Wiley Ong takes a seat. As Prep, with 8 minutes 40 seconds left, resting some of their wing pieces for this second half.
Jackson, I remember when I was playing lacrosse as a kid for a very, very good program. We would go up big, and the coach would always say, you got to have at least 5 passes before you take a shot on net. I always thought that was really important because it helped. I mean, we grew up together, and then we went on to play high school all together. And our team chemistry was off the charts because we were always up so big, and we had to pass the ball at least 5 times before we took a shot. And I think that really helps build that chemistry. You wonder if Berman does anything like that on the field. You see him passing the ball a lot still. No individual players trying to, you know, play some hero ball. They're keeping the ball hot and keeping it moving. Especially up big, it's important to know. Work on the little things, because even though you're winning, there's still work to be done. There's still areas to improve. So, very curious to see if they do anything like that.
Chance to improve in set pieces here as Krupski and Munoz both crowd around the ball. Mills is next to him as well. A wall of Blue Knights in front.
It's an interesting look for the set piece there, Jackson.
Yep, dumps it off to Krupski. Krupski on the ground. And Rublins is there.
Not a very threatening shot. That was a pretty routine save there. He's getting his work in today, that is for sure.
Pirates leading at 4-0 off of a flurry of goals in the first half. The first two scored within a minute of one another, and then last two scored about 5 minutes apart. As Pirates getting on the board for the first time, other Pirates, staples from this season. Leong, one of them, as well as Mendez.
This game has had a little bit of everything offensively for Seton Hall. Great shots, great passes, great individual efforts.
Speaking of, here's a corner opportunity as Miller Nelson will check on, the senior from South Orange. Gene checks back on for Irvington, and to the claps of fans, Benjamin Mills walks off. Here's the corner in for Krupski off the right foot. Oh my.
That would have been amazing.
For a guy of his size at 6'4", 195 pounds, that's some incredible flexibility.
Yeah, he's very, very athletic. It's no wonder why he's, going to be playing down in New Brunswick next fall.
I think it's no wonder that Mustafa Houghton, who runs D1 Media Pro, calls him crazy legs. Just the ability to do just about anything with his feet. Krupski definitely has earned that nickname. So here's a chance through three defenders. He just puts one on net.
Pretty routine there.
And Rubelins is there.
Irvington, you got 6 minutes here. You haven't conceded a goal in a little bit. Got to establish some offensive possession. Defenders are just getting gassed. Another thing, you got to get the ball to Lewis. You got to be. He leads your team in scoring in that back line, which is another thing I found very interesting. Lewis plays on the back line. He leads that team in scoring. So, very obviously, Irvington's offense thrives when they have that ball in that front third and they have all their guys forward. So if you're going to get some offensive production, you got to establish that offensively. You got to have your guys pushing the ball forward, keeping possession, and getting a flurry of shots on goal like Seton Hall has done all day. And you got to get that ball to that left side of the field where number 10 is. There he goes right there.
Trying to get the ball to him on a throw-in, but the ref pushing the throw-in back further as...
I believe I'm mistaken. He's not playing on the back line anymore. To start the game, he was at the back line. Things get shuffled around with all the subs and things of that nature. Unless, of course, the coach made an adjustment, said, we got to get you a little more up. Munoz. Got to keep his emotions under control. That's one critique I'll have of him. As phenomenal of a season he's had, we've seen multiple games now where he has a bit of an outrage with his emotions. He's gotten himself multiple cards from, disagreeing with referees and letting him know that he's disagreeing with them. That can only hurt your team. You'll never benefit from that. You're just putting a target on your back with the referee. And, by getting cards and stuff, you get 2 yellows, you're out of the game. You get 1 yellow for arguing, and then you get another 50-50 yellow from a challenge. Next thing you know, you're out the game and your team's in a hole. You got to be better, and that's something you want to see him. You want to see growth in that area, because as of this season, I have not in the games that I've played.
Well, at the same time, too, with boys soccer, you have to be pulled off immediately if you are called for a yellow card, as Munoz is going to check out. Watson Steinwald, the senior, is going to check in. Only 1 assist on the season, but he'll get some minutes as the closing 3.5 are winding down here in West Orange as the sun sets on the Kelly Athletic Complex.
Seton Hall's doing a really good job of surrounding the Blue Knights. The second they get the ball, you just see 3-4 Seton Hall Pirates just at the ball. Look at this here, closing all 4. Boom, right there. Force a turnover. You hear those footsteps. You feel the pressure coming. And that's why Irvington has to keep the ball hot, you know. If they're going to overcommit to the ball, 4 guys, if you keep the ball hot, you know, they're scrambling now. They're scrambling to find the ball. You're opening up their defense and you're opening up opportunities for your playmakers to go make a play. Hopefully in the second half they make that adjustment. They'll start to get some offensive pressure.
First throw-in for the Blue Knights since the very beginning of the game on Seton Hall Prep's side of the field, and it's quickly turned over. Ball played back to Longstreet. Now up to Steinwald. Steinwald with a nice move to switch the field. Sends it over to Masseri. Prep taking their time with 2 minutes left in this first half.
I think they're very content just taking it to the half right here. They're just swinging the ball around, keeping it wide, keeping possession here. They don't want to give up anything late, not necessarily rushing to get anything either. Good look there, but snuffed away quickly by Seton Hall.
Nice ball through by Steinwald. Looking for Ariza. And Seton Hall Prep draws the corner.
Good hustle there from Daniel Ariza. Earns himself a corner.
Steinwald to take for Seton Hall Prep as they crash the box. Just 2 defenders back. It's a low ball in at the hips. And it's cleared away. Inside the final minute of the first half here at Tevlin Memorial Field. Seton Hall Prep leading it 4-0.
See the senior Watson Steinwald in. Getting some cheers from his fellow teammates. They're happy for him.
Here's Ariza with a shot on net. A second chance, and it's Krupski.
That is going to be his 19th on the year.
Make it 19.
20 here. I thought for a second that might have been called offsides. Refs keep that flag down. Krupski continues his phenomenal run here. Irvington, that's a backbreaker. You never want to concede one that late in the game, first half. Morale was low. It's probably even lower now. Let's see if they move with some urgency here to get one back.
Ball to Krupski, passed over to Nelson. He lets that roll, and looks like that should do it for the first half. The clock winding down with 10 seconds now, and the Pirates will take this first half 5-0. I mean, it's the perfect start to the Essex County tournament that Seton Hall Prep was looking for.
Yeah, Jackson, pretty flawless half from Seton Hall there. I mean, the scoreboard is indicative of that, but you really like what you're seeing here. These boys, they lost to Eastside, and they've been nothing but phenomenal since. Hope to continue this run throughout the rest of the tournament.
5 goals in the first half for the Pirates. They look to close things out here in round 1 of the Essex County tournament. We'll be right back here on the D1 Media Pro page. Stay tuned for half number 2.
like family.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling.
Lloyd attacking and throws it down! Touchdown for St. Peter's!
I'm here with Darren Lewis.
With Simeon Wilcher.
Here with Precious Achua.
About doing overtime.
What a bad call! You have no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
He's gonna take it himself for a championship!
A double play wins it for Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch! Micaiah touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, we treat you like family.
Back here for the second half of action. Jackson Shank, Justin Valenzuela, and our boy Lars. Can I get a last name? Dorson.
Shout out.
Lars Dorson. Shout out the Dorson family for having a kid like Lars. You know, you can't beat him, honestly.
Dude, he really is just a treasure trove of information. He just dropped a bomb on us like 30 seconds ago.
He did.
This guy's incredible.
Speaking of incredible, Seton Hall Prep up 5-0 here in West Orange. A picture-perfect first half for the Pirates and the half of nightmares if you're Irvington. I'm not going to lie, I was walking down going to the bathroom in between halves, and I just see Jeffrey Burtonson, the head coach for the Blue Knights, just ripping into his kids. And I'm not going to lie, I feel awful.
Understandably so. You can only feel so bad, you know. Not everyone responds to that type of coaching, but I'm all for it. Your guys showed up 20 minutes late. They're down 5-0, and like you said, they weren't taking it seriously on the bus. You know, you can always tell, especially, like, I know you played baseball. I played a couple sports. You could tell on the bus how the game is going to go, the way the boys are acting. I know for a fact that there's a couple
That's
times
valid.
we were goofing around on the bus, you know, not taking it seriously, not getting in the zone. And our coach said, hey, you guys better lock in. And then we went out there, we got punched in the mouth, and he chewed us out for it. You know, if his guys are messing around on the bus and stuff, not taking this game seriously, this is the Essex County tournament. This isn't just some game. This is a tournament game. You know, you want to get out there and give it your best effort. You know, hopefully his speech lights a fire in his guys. You know, they've got a half. They're rested. You know, they see how serious Seton Hall Prep is taking this game. Hopefully they match that energy moving forward, and they give us a bit of a better game going forward.
A long way to go if they want to come back in this one. Seton Hall Prep leading the way 5-0, but starting to see some offensive life here and some work by the Blue Knights in the attacking third.
You know, you heard Coach Burtonson say they'll drop 10 on you guys. They don't care. They don't. You know, multiple times this year they've beaten teams 8-0, and now they're on track to get 2 more goals in their largest victory this season. They will not let up on you. They do not care. They need these goals for standings. So if you want to screw them out of some standings and some, you know, advanced metrics types of things, you know, you want to, you know, give a better effort here and not just let them embarrass you. You know, you got to put up a better fight. And that starts with getting the ball to Lewis, their top goal scorer. Got to maintain possession, keep the ball hot, spread out that really, really strong Seton Hall defense. And, you know, get this thing moving.
Starting to sound like a broken record, Justin.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, it's what you want to see. You have not seen it yet, though. They got 4 guys forward now, so that's a change. You know, they instead of 3, they got 4. And look, they advanced the ball past the 20 that time around. So.
Yeah, it looks like player is down, and that's Diusti, who's down on the far side. But you were talking about Lewis. It looks like he's playing that Munoz role. We see a lot of the wingers, along with Krupski, play really far forward for Seton Hall Prep. And then Munoz is kind of that guy who just kind of stays back and then just, you know, facilitates, sends it out, shares it, or, you know, spreads the wealth. And Because of that, maybe he's not the biggest goal scorer, but for Irvington, it looks like Lewis has been the one to take more of those shots, or maybe he's the one getting those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's indicative of their offense. You know, you got to keep the ball right where it is right now. Keep the ball hot, get shots on goal, and let the rebounds come out to your guys and, you know, kind of fire that in. I'm assuming that's how they've gotten most of their 11 goals this season, because offensively I haven't seen much individual effort that would make me think otherwise. But, you know, these are two. They just had a set piece. They have in a corner here. This is a great opportunity to get a ball in the back of the net and change the flow of this game.
First corner of the game for Irvington. Way over the heads of any Blue Knights in the area. And that's cleared over the end line for a goal kick. And Bonanno able to pick it up and place it where he pleases.
Good opening 4 minutes here for Irvington. Got to see if they can keep this up for the rest of the game. I'm sure Seton Hall is a little more content sitting back, sitting on their hands a little bit here. And if you're Irvington, you got to take advantage of that lackadaisicalness. You know, you got to be aggressive when they're not aggressive. Because if you're content and they're content, nothing's going to happen. You know, you got to flip the script of this game now. It's got to start right now. Because if you don't, it'll be too late.
Seton Hall Prep trying to flip the script of this second half so far. Irvington not letting that happen. This ball played forward. But Maseri is there. Oh, a nice move by Mendez in the midfield. Leaves a through ball for Krupski. He's unable to get behind it, though.
And Mills just were not on the same page there. They were, you know, running in the same spot. Always gets a little tough.
Here's Munoz. Leaves it for Sullivan. Sullivan through defenders. Now inside the 18 for Krupski, who gets a foot on it. And it's over the end line. Now Seton Hall Prep's offense coming to life for the first time since the 30-second mark in the last half.
Mendez might have gotten away with a little bit of a shove there. Irvington keeps possession nonetheless, and here it is. There's Lewis. He's hot. Look, you got to find him right there. He was cutting across. He took way too long on that, unfortunately, but he was there. The opportunity was there. If you're number two, you got to have your eyes up next time.
Pereira moves it over. Looking to get inside the 18, but the flag is up. Seton Hall Prep takes over.
That's how you're going to get your opportunities. You saw the give and go there from Lewis. Got to be a little bit more aware of what your teammates are going to be doing. He was able to sneak right behind Mills, so look to see if he'll do that a couple more times and get quality opportunity in front of the net.
Leong pushes the ball forward for Krupski. Krupski pops it up to Mendez. Mendez contacted hard. So the ref's starting to let the boys play a little bit more in this second half. Here's Mills, tries to flip the field for Lepczynski. Lepczynski inside the box, pushing through defenders, but a great defensive stand there by Yuppa. Blue Knights arguing for a ball out of touch. Now a runaway ball as Longstreet shoves down an attacking Blue Knight and Alex Guerre, and once again, play on. Here's a rough shove. And words exchanged now. Mendez doing a great job separating players, Krupski as well. But yeah, you started to see, Justin, tensions mounting between both teams, because what happens is you let these boys play and then they see what more they can get away with, and eventually Mills just leveled from behind, and that's what draws the extra attention.
Yeah, Mills definitely took exception to that challenge. If you're Irvington, you know, not the worst idea. You know, show these boys that you're still here, you're still going to play physical. You're not just going to roll over and let them do whatever they want. Sometimes you gotta establish your will. You gotta impose your will on the opponent. You know, Lewis doing a little bit of that there. Nothing too crazy. Wasn't a card-worthy foul, but strong enough
Believe it or not, it was. Lewis yellow carded. He's going to have to come off immediately.
I wonder if he said something to the ref or not there.
No, I think they agreed. There was conversations between the side official, or the line judge, as well as the head official in the center of the field, and they agreed they had to pull out the card there. I think goes to show where the line has been drawn when it comes to physical contact. That was pretty clear. An intentional shove from behind, leveling an attacker, is not something that you can get away with.
Right, yeah. And if you're Lewis, hopefully you light a fire under your guys. Because it can't just be your best player. It's got to be a team effort. He's hustling around the field. You want to see everybody else kind of match that energy.
Here's Sullivan. The ball inside. Gets away. What are they going to call here? A corner, as they should.
Yeah, that ball went over the line there. His back foot. Jackson, the intensity is certainly leveled up in the first 10 minutes here. But you wonder if it's too little, too late. That speech from Coach Burtonson obviously had some sort of impact, nonetheless.
5 goals it's just a lot.
It's a lot to come back. Even if they blank them this half, that hole that they put themselves in the first half, it's just a tough one.
Here's a ball in, looking for Sullivan. It's off the Blue Knights. Yet another corner for Seton Hall Prep. As they go quickly here, here's Munoz. Oh, a whiff of a kick. Keep the possession alive for the Pirates. Now inside, here's Mendez. Mendez with a ball in. Labczynski just let it go. Had he redirected it with his head, I think that could have been lethal for Seton Hall Prep. And there, after 5 minutes, Lewis back into the game. As Kervin Sejos checks off. Irvington pushing it forward, but to no avail as Berna runs out of real estate and runs into Bonanno.
Irvington pressing all the way up now.
Longstreet is down. More contact, and you can hear it from Coach Berman. He is not happy with all the contact that Lewis is distributing.
Lewis's second offense now. Ref having a stern talking to him. Hope to avoid a booking, but I think he's going to get away with this one. Ref is definitely making sure to let him know that he's not going to tolerate any more of that.
Lewis on thin ice now, and if you're the Blue Knights, you can't afford to lose him.
No, sir, you cannot.
The senior Longstreet stands up. Looks like he is going to play through it. And it looks like a flurry of subs is going to come on.
I think Coach Berman has called off the dogs. I think he's satisfied with what he's seen with the boys. They've held down the fort for the last 10 minutes here. Didn't concede anything. As you can see, Irvington getting a little aggressive out there. Maybe a bit of a, peaceful showing here. Hey, send my guys out. You call your guys off. Let's have a clean game the rest of the way.
Krupski working one-on-one with the defender. He's tripped up from behind, tries to play through it.
He's got 9 guys ready to check in.
Looks like they're gonna let this play happen without any subs. So here's Mills from beyond the 18. Chance for Labczynski. And now the cavalry is coming in for Seton Hall Prep. Miller Nelson checks on. Daniel Ariza. Brandon Williams. It's hard to keep track of all these names. Daniel Deskovich. or Deskevich, excuse me. Graham Anderson's going to check in for the first time.
Gerlich, the defender, senior defender.
Noah Gerlich, William Frank. Have I named them all? Xavier Levy. Thank you to our cameraman. 9 subs for Seton Hall Prep. It looked like they were going to bring in a new goalie in Siddharth Patel, and I think Coach Berman decided against it. Spanano is going to stay there. So
He's not been tested much, he's probably.
So second team on for Seton Hall Prep. So we're going to see some fresh faces.
Guys, we've never called before, Jackson.
Yeah, get a chance to turn up here at home.
See, you got a couple seniors in there. It's always nice when seniors put in a lot of time and effort into the program, get to see the field.
Steinwald to take. Forgot to say his name as he checked on. The header off the top of Miller Nelson goes over the end line, and it's a goal kick for the Blue Knights.
Checks back in. Let him cool down for a little bit. Jackson, I can't say I blame him. Down 5-0. Just got ripped into by the coach. You gotta control your emotions nonetheless. You take the way you're feeling and you put it into your play. You don't take it out on opposing players.
Way to work! Way to work!
Prep advancing it forward. Gerlich, the throw in inside to Ariza. Ariza trying to keep it in. He's defended well. Now trying to get it out of the corner. He's shoved over. And the defense stands strong for Egbekere. She clears it ahead. Looking for Lewis. It's cut off by Anderson. Now a header. Ariza is going to let it go over the end line.
Probably not the best decision there by Pereira to get ahead on that one. He was teetering the line. He had a guy behind him. Could have let that one go to his man. Fortunately, now he gives up a corner. Another quality opportunity for Prep.
Watson Steinwald, the senior out of Westfield, to take. 25 minutes left in this second half. Seton Hall Prep leading it 5-0, looking to make it 6. Way outside the 6 was William Frank. He got a head on it before rolls over the touch line. Here's a throw in to Ariza. Blue Knights defense is there. Now the Pirates resetting at midfield. Masseri pushes it forward. It's taken away from Steinwald. Here's Lewis. Steinwald closing in.
Excellent closing speed from Steinwald there.
Yep. Steinwald with more physical defense. A shove from behind. The refs say play on. Deskevich collects in the midfield. Got Miller Nelson on the far side. Can Nelson track it down? Solid defense by Egbekere.
Irvington's done a much better job defensively this half. It's night and day, the difference, honestly.
Lewis has it cut off. Deskevich tries to play a through ball. Here's a second chance as he's tripped up.
Steinwald doing a great job out there so far defensively.
I know that he's a midfielder typically, but you know his effort defensively is
Popping off. You know, it's very. You can see it.
Daniel Deskevich with a free kick, about 5 yards outside the 18. A lethal opportunity for Seton Hall Prep to advance their lead to 6. Deskevich plays the ball into the corner, just by the far post. Great idea from the junior.
Great strike, just outside. Quality look nonetheless.
Was looking to make it 2 games in a row with a goal, as he was the final scorer in that game versus Life Center on Monday. Throw in for the Pirates on the near side of the field. It'll be Gerlich. Irvington with their first real opportunity of the half. And Gary lets it fly. It goes wide left. Or wide right, excuse me. Prep playing it along their back line, controlling possession. Nelson can't win the touch on the defensive efforts by Egbekar.
Miller Nelson, 6'1", 180 forward.
He's got the build.
He definitely has the build, and you can see the speed too. It's a quality bench piece for Seton Hall Prep.
You're the center back. Switch them.
Lewis throws in. He gets retouched. And great defense by Gerlich. Steinwald plays it back. Seton Hall Prep moving it around with Anderson on the back line. Now trying to play it forward to Miller Nelson, but he just can't gather those touches.
Yeah, got to work on that first touch just a little bit. See, Bonanno has been much more vocal this half now that the bench has really come in. You know, that's what you like to see. He's communicating with his guys who don't see the field as often. That's quality leadership right there from Bonanno.
Yeah, the senior out of West Caldwell, who's approaching the 50 save mark on the season, he's been great. And I think it's so important, like you mentioned, Justin, for a keeper to be as vocal as he is, regardless of the first or second team is on there. I mean, we're hearing every word that he's saying.
That's important because he sees the field better than anybody else can. He sees everything that's going on down there. So to communicate with your guys is such a strategical advantage.
Ball for Nelson, trying to win the 50-50. And here's a ball in, a chance for Ariza. And an incredible job from Rubulins as he comes off of his line to make the stop there.
Jackson, you know, seeding-wise, who Seton Hall takes, can they inevitably advance after this game?
That's a great question to look at, but this tournament up in the air so far. This is one of the earlier games to be played in this first round, being that it is on a Wednesday. So you'll have to take a look around the conference. It was something I was going to check on later today, but I'm pretty sure that if they were to advance, they would go on to play the winner of Newark and Barringer.
Newark Academy and Barringer. Number 7, Newark Academy. Number 23, Barringer.
That game will be played today at 6 p.m. following the conclusion of this game. And the game between Seton Hall Prep and the winner of that game will be played on Friday, October 13th.
Corner opportunity for the Blue Knights. So they're looking to strike for the first time. 5-0 so far today. A ball in is snatched out of the sky by Bonanno. And that'll keep the sheet clean.
This tournament runs all the way to almost the end of October. October 21st is when the final will be played. And a nice little 2-week tournament action.
Thank goodness, man. These kids got to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Did you go trick-or-treating in high school? That's a question.
I went trick-or-treating last year.
Now that's crazy.
Yep,
that's wild to me.
Took a white sheet, cut holes in it, and walked around beautiful South Orange and got some free candy.
So you had the Charlie Brown level costume.
Yeah. I figured I wouldn't go too crazy, but I wanted free candy's free candy. Come on.
This is true. This is true.
It's not like they're gonna know I'm a college student.
Thank you. Yeah, credit to the families of South Orange for feeding you.
Kids I went to school with. So
oh, okay, I gotcha.
Had to make sure to raise my voice a little bit. Can't get myself.
Hi, trick or treat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, incognito.
So you went as a ghost.
Yep.
All-time favorite Halloween costume?
That's a good question.
As here's a scary opportunity for Seton Hall Prep.
I homemade
They have it
Predator
cleared away.
When I was in 7th grade. I was really good. My aunt helped me.
Wow.
Dude, I looked good. Man. Homemade Predator costume.
The character Predator.
Yes.
From the movies, it's from Alien, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
How about you?
Man, I gotta think. Here we go. Okay, so kindergarten. It was either kindergarten or first grade.
I don't even think I was. I don't think I have cognitive.
I have cognitive. Wow, cognitive memory of this because of how cool it was.
All right.
All right. Peak moment was kindergarten. So I don't know if you had one of these growing up, but there used to be these plastic cars that you could get that were like battery operated, and you could like actually drive them as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Right. So my buddy had a yellow Camaro.
Okay.
All right. He went as G.I. Joe. I went as the red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And we went driving around the neighborhood in his yellow Camaro, trick-or-treating.
Oh, hell yeah.
As 5- and 6-year-olds.
You got to be cool. I know I've seen pictures when I was like around that age. My mom would dress me and my younger brother up in like costumes that played off of each other. Like the one year my brother was Thomas the Train Engine.
The tank engine. He's a train.
My bad. And I was
Thomas is near and dear to
the
my
guy.
heart.
What's his name? You know who I'm talking about? The conductor.
The conductor?
Yeah.
Well, I know that. Oh my gosh, who played him in the movies? Not Ben Affleck.
Dude, beats me.
But there was a guy who played the conductor in the movies. But anyway.
One year I was Spider-Man, and he was the radioactive spider. That was pretty cool. I'll give
That's
props to
interesting.
I'll give props to my mom for that one. My brother was like 3.
So he was biting you all night?
I don't remember. I don't know nothing about that. She still flexes that to this day. You know that one year, you and your brother were pretty cool.
You and your brother were that Spider-Man costume. Yeah.
21 and 40
Plenka and Siddharth Patel both checked in for Seton Hall Prep while we were talking Halloween.
It's spooky season, man.
It is.
I'm excited.
Lars, do you have a Halloween costume planned out?
I don't this year. I haven't gotten around to it.
What were you last year for Halloween?
I think I might have had a Spider-Man costume that I just threw on.
Spider-Man Lars.
Yeah.
Okay, now are we talking red suit, black suit, like the red suit? Okay, red and blue.
To get out of wearing the school uniform for a night.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, when you go to a private high school, those dress down days, they're few and far between.
Yeah, about once a month. Gotta cherish it.
So here's a through ball, played ahead for Miller Nelson, shaking defenders inside the box, trying to bully his way through. Now it's pushed away. Here's a shot on net. It goes wide. William Frank taking the shot there. And plenty of claps.
Another great look. Seton Hall this half. A lot of shots wide. If you're Irvington, you're not quite complaining because they're not finding the back of the net. It's always hard when you get guys that don't see the field too often. They come on the field, then it takes a little bit of time to kind of get acclimated. And we saw Munoz earlier, fired one over the net, and then I believe it was the 4th goal of the game. Eventually fine-tuned his shot a little bit and was able to strike one in.
I'm going to advocate for a Seton Hall Prep Day where the players and the fans alike have to show up in Halloween costumes. Like the players have to change, obviously, but they have to come out for the sake of the entertainment. Like say hi and greet the fans, and then they can go back in. Because if Eddie Krupski were to show up in a Halloween costume, what would he be?
Superman.
Absolutely.
Captain America. If he wanted to tap into the villain side, maybe Ivan Drago from the Rocky series. I feel like he could pull it off with the haircut.
Okay. I can see that one.
Yeah. So these are important topics when the score is 5-0. Okay.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I think Coach Berman could be.
Ooh.
What's his name?
Coach Berman.
From X-Men.
Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
He's
just a genius, bro. He's a genius.
Okay.
38th year? Come on. He's his 38th year. He's got so many trophies and accolades in his drawer.
He just pulls up in a wheelchair.
Well, yeah. That would be a hard one to sell. Maybe.
This is true.
I was more so thinking he's just a veteran leading a super team.
This is true. This is true.
What's his name from S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, the guy with the eye patch?
Agent Fury?
Yeah, Fury, Nick Fury.
That one, too, might be a little hard to get.
Yeah.
Would need to put on the black face for that,
okay.
But that just wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. He could pull it off. Just give him an eye patch. Give him a dark leather jacket, but... Tough foul on Plenka. And it looks like the Pirates will get a free kick from about 25 yards out.
Plenka with an opportunity here. About 23 out.
Looks like Plenka will take it too. So draws the foul, and now he'll shoot it.
He's cooled down a lot here now. Final 5 minutes here. The sun's kind of hiding. Straight.
Shot from Planka. High over the net. Yeah, it's a good thing I gave you my hoodie.
Yeah, definitely not complaining now. It's a little hot in that first half there. Kind of like Seton Hall came out scorching. But as such, the offense has cooled down. The weather has cooled down. I'm feeling good in this zip-up hoodie.
Sun has just about set here on Telvin Memorial Field. Some of the trees still getting some sun, some last-minute sun, as we approach the 6 o'clock hour. But yeah, such a beautiful area of New Jersey. I've grown accustomed, as a Kansas native myself, I'm starting to love the fall and spring seasons in New Jersey more and more, because sometimes it can be very hard to find the green in this state. Even though it is the Garden State, you got to go south.
Put some respect on it.
Being in North Jersey, it can be tough to find some green, but you got so much green around Tevlin Memorial Field. It is such a beautiful facility that Seton Hall Prep has.
It does a really good job of captivating the beauty of the Garden State. You know, we're pretty industrial. We got a lot of highways and roads and all of that. You've got this field, beautiful trees that are all changing colors. You've got the New York, every time I'm going to say it because it just never fails to amaze me, the New York skyline in the background. You can see Newark in the distant background, the near background, I should say. It's just, I mean, that's Jersey for you right here. You got trees, you got beautiful colors, you got the city close by. You got the shore about an hour down. Everything you could want is in Jersey.
And high school boys soccer.
Absolutely.
Miller Nelson keeps it alive, but quickly gives it up. Dorsalis was there as he checks off for Zamari Pearson. Just under 6 minutes remain here in West Orange. Jackson Shank and Justin Valenzuela here for you, joined alongside Lars Darson.
Shout out to Seton Hall Prep's tennis team. Lars says that's a no-go there. Jackson, I feel like the ball has just lived in this front third of the field here for Seton Hall the last 10-ish minutes. I do not think the ball has fallen past midfield. They've really settled in.
Yeah, and the first real chance that looked like it was going to, well, I guess we've seen plenty of real chances, but the first one that's been really on net.
Yeah, in the second half.
You see Masseri holding his head. Thought he had the header of the season, and unfortunately for him, it was in the hands of Rebulins. Planka switches field for Levy, but has it taken away. Nelson, a chance on the through ball, gets a right foot on it, but it's going to go wide.
Miller Nelson's having a great half here. See him making plays all over, much like most of the Seton Hall Prep team today, but I think since he's checked on, he's made the most impact on that field. They're really making an effort to get him the ball.
Well, and now's the time to earn those minutes. I mean, the second team is on for Seton Hall Prep. You have a chance for these guys who maybe don't get utilized off the bench as much to come in and just try to dominate and show why they deserve more minutes with the first team. Here's Frank, dumps it off to Gerlich, trying to push it forward to Nelson, and that's cleared away by Egbekar.
Jackson Prep. The Prep's going to have a big game on Friday, taking on the winner of Newark Academy or Behringer. Seton Hall Prep football team has another big game on Saturday to take on Don Bosco Prep.
We will be on the call for that.
We will be, and anybody that is interested in attending that game or tuning into that game, got word from Mr. Larry Baggett. The game might be moved forward to 12 noon. Not sure if it's because of inclement weather or other reasons, but important to note if anybody's interested in attending that game or anything like that. It might get moved up an hour, so you don't want to show up at 1 because it'll probably be nothing. Also, a might, so just something to note. Might not, might happen, might not. I'm not sure.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Check out the Seton Hall Prep Athletics page. Goldie does a great job keeping all the notes together, so I'm sure he'll have the updated schedule and announcements will be sent out. So stay tuned for that.
Both teams really kind of stagnant this second half. Irvington came out hot the first 10 minutes, looked threatening, had a few quality opportunities. Seton Hall inevitably took their bench and put them in. Since then, the pace of game has just slowed down a lot. I think Irvington's content with just getting out of here at this point. In the last 15 to 20 minutes or so, the ball has just lived in their defensive side. Lots of opportunities for the Prep, but nothing has found the back of the net.
Minute 30 left here in the second half. Plenka to take the free kick for Seton Hall Prep. He sits about 30 yards out. Hooking ball off the right foot. Looking for the header was Steinwald. Now a second chance shot. And what a save from Rebulins.
Yeah, Miller Nelson just sent a missile at him. Good job to pop that ball up and then catch it back. Miller Nelson, though, I don't know if you were able to see that, Jackson. He fought back for that ball. He was not in position for that shot. Was able to put his body in front of the defender and put a nice strike on goal.
Been really surprised with Miller Nelson and how good of a showing he's had in the second half. I think definitely a consideration for a bench piece moving deeper into this tournament.
Yeah, especially as you get later into the season, wear and tear. I mean, we saw Krupski go down yet again with the minor injury. It's always important to have guys on the bench that you can count on when, they got to go in and make a play because your guy's down or gassed or whatever it may be, card, whatever the situation. I think Miller Nelson has done a great job today to show that he can be relied on moving forward, especially as we get later into this tournament and deep into the season.
Last 20 seconds of regulation. Ball out of play and a throw in for Irvington. Now counting down inside 10, the header away, and that will do it. The score remains 5-0. Seton Hall Prep finds their 8th clean sheet of the season as they are victorious today over Irvington.
Yeah, Jackson, the game started off real fast. They came screaming out the gate. Irvington looked a little lackadaisical coming out there, and Seton Hall Prep, a lot of their juniors that stepped up big when Krupski went down, a lot of the guys that have had great seasons continued to have great seasons. Munoz, Mills, Mendez, all finding the back of the net. Leong found the back of the net. These are all juniors that are just doing a phenomenal job continuing that, and then second half called the dogs off, but I think the bench guys did a great job of showing that they all deserve some minutes as well. Irvington, just an unfortunate effort from them today. That'll do it for them in the tournament, but they still got a few games left on the year. Hope to get a couple more wins out there and stay competitive moving forward.
Seton Hall Prep picks up their 11th win of the season. They will play the winner of Newark and Beringer later tonight. They compete at 6 o'clock Friday. That game set for 4 p.m. For now, that's all. So for Justin Valenzuela, my name is Jackson Shank. Thank you for watching this presentation of Super Essex County Soccer here on the D1 Media Pro page.